Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the High Ticket Coaching and Consultant Strategy and Growth Show. Now, if you're watching this interview anywhere else but within our private Facebook community called High Ticket Client Interaction Insider Circle, then definitely come check us out. We definitely love to have you. That group was put together specifically for coaches, consultants, and service providers who are serious about getting up to that 6 and that 7-figure level. So if that's you, definitely come check us out. Now, today I want to introduce you to one of the members of the community, Paolo Flores. Welcome, Paolo.
Hi, Extus. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. How are you doing back there?
I'm great. I'm enjoying the sunny weather here in Miami.
That is brilliant, brilliant. Love it. So tell us, what is it that you do?
I'm an overseas property consultant. So what I do was I find properties in the Philippines and then offer it to overseas here in the U.S. So basically, I'm just taking advantage of the situation because since 2006, I was going back and forth here in U.S. and then the Philippines. And then I noticed that I have a lot of networks here who are working in the healthcare, IT industry, and they want to find something back home. So I offer them pre-construction properties so that it would be affordable. Imagine $300 to $400 a month. So for them, it's easy, and I think it has an attractive payment terms.
Okay, awesome. So ultimately, you're in Florida right now, and you said you travel back and forth to the Philippines. And how do you already own the properties, or do you just go out? Do you find them?
Way back in 2006, so I was just a local realtor back in the Philippines, right? And then come 2010, I noticed that every year I was going to the US just because my parents, who's also in the recruitment business, we send nurses abroad, and then I come there for vacation, right? So I just took advantage of the situation wherein I go abroad, I go in the US, make some friends, meet new people, some new networks, and then I offer them these properties that are about $300 to $400 a month. And then what's good about it is it's different in the here in the US. I set up Tupperware events. So people who are about 10 to 15 people, put them in a coffee shop, and then I present for 15 minutes. Then I just offer them my thing.
Awesome. So you said the properties are $300 to about $400 per month.
Yeah.
Yeah. How does that work? Do they how does that work? Are they flying over there and like living there? How does it work?
Right. So this is the norm. Okay. A developer in the Philippines, they would present a project. They would give us flyers, and then developers would promote these projects through independent contractors, such as the brokers, realtors, and then I said I should get in this industry because most likely my network are more capable of buying a property with those kinds of prices. Imagine $300 to $400. Then after 3 years, 2 to 3 years, it will be ready for occupancy. And then once it's ready, I will manage their properties.
Okay, so you said the developers kind of like market, talk about the properties, and then you get them. So are the properties are they already built, or are they being built by the time they were paying the $200 to $300 or the $300 to $400 per month?
Yeah, so they're being built. By the time I'm offering them, usually it's 2 to 3 years. They're gonna pour out 200 to 300 to $400 a month. Then after the initial down payment, which is 24 to 36 months, the final payment will be paid through a Philippine bank. So what I advise sometimes is here in the US, we have what we call tax returns, wherein people get $8 to $10,000. I think that's where I always go here in the U.S. and then offer it to my niche market, which are professionals in the healthcare, IT industry, and some foreign investors are also into investing in the Philippines because the pricing, imagine, starts at $30,000 to $80,000 for a
Mm-hmm.
property. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a good one.
Yeah. Okay. So just to clarify, you said so when they say, let's say you go to the you find someone when they start paying the 400 the $300 to $400 per month, you're saying that the property is already built, or is it in the process of being built or set up?
It's in the process of being built.
Mm-hmm.
So they gotta wait 2 or 3 years. It depends on the project. That
Gotcha.
normally I present 2 to 3 projects
Mm-hmm.
with either you want the $300 a month or this one at $400 a month. And then after 2 to 3 years, they can occupy the property
Mm-hmm.
once they have a pre-approval with the banks in the Philippines.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And how do they own that property? It's just their property to own, and if they want, they could have you manage it.
Yes, so okay, so in 2006 to 2010, I was doing this thing, like I was going back and forth, offering this pre-selling or pre-construction properties. And then by that time, around 2010, I noticed a lot of them were asking me, Paolo, do you know anyone who's managing these properties? And it got a lot more frequent. A lot of them are asking me, and then I just added this property management in my team. So I added 2 people, got an office in Makati because it's where most of the projects that I endorse. And then we tried it, and right now we're managing over 100 properties every year.
Nice, nice. That's some pretty cool stuff, man.
I know.
Yeah, but that's brilliant as far as how you saw this opportunity. So I guess how did you said the way you kind of figured this out was just doing the back and forth travel from the Philippines to the US, right?
Yes, correct. So I think I just capitalized on what I have because imagine if I'm going outside the country for outside the Philippines and stay in the US for 3 to 4 months, might as well do something productive.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's what I did. So first, it was California. I did presentations in LA, San Diego, and even Las Vegas. In fact, this shirt right now, this was one of the presentations. Well, I guess 2 years ago, we did this presentation. So what I did was to
Mm-hmm.
collaborate with people who I think has a niche for my market, and then I do presentations for them. Um, I promote them on hand during the presentation. So everybody wins.
Mm-hmm. That is brilliant. That is brilliant. Yeah, and I know because most of the listeners, most individuals who are listening to this, they're mostly coaches, consultants, and service providers. And I know one of the things I definitely teach is presentations, right? Like giving away some type of free presentation to kind of just show individuals what it is and how what you do works, right? Just like you could be here right now saying, "Hey, Extus, here's what I do." And as you can see, I have several different questions. But if you have a solid presentation that could just address all these questions for me, at the end, it's like we could have a really solid conversation. If it's something I'm really interested in, we could have a really solid conversation based on how you could help in a sense, right?
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, that's why I told you earlier before the camera started rolling. Oh, because I'm fond of collaborating with people and promoting their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Collaborate. It's collaboration, and I know right now it's been a big challenge because of this COVID situation. But we learn as we go. We learn how to pivot. So that means doing this kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be I think better.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Awesome. So what are you finding when someone gets a property in the Philippines, are they buying it like as like kind of like an investment property to rent out? Are they getting it for themselves to be able to stay in there? What do they typically get it for?
All right. So normally, initially, they would get it for somewhere. They think that they're going there for 2 to 3 times a year because on the average, most of my clients they go out on vacation after they got their tax returns. All right. So when I hang out in a bookkeeper's office, those plans change. I'm gonna tell them, ditch that vacation. Just go invest your money in the Philippines and just wait for 2 to 3 years, and then that time you can get a free hotel. You can I
Mm-hmm.
can manage your property when you're away and get passive income. Then by the time after 12 months, you have your money with you to go get on another vacation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty cool stuff, man. I think that's a brilliant strategy here. Um, so with yourself, right? So I know that have you always been? How did you? Was it pretty difficult to get everything kind of set up? Was it a long process, or was it pretty? Did everything just come together pretty smoothly in terms of
All
all the
right.
coordination?
Okay. You know what? In 2009, I thought I was gonna quit already. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a drought in my own sales records. I think I haven't sold for like 3 months, but then I closed this one big deal. This one big deal put me back on track and then motivated me to grow this business once again. Because back then, if you remember 2009, that was when the US market went down. So we were also affected because most of the our countrymen were also working in the US. We have a lot of um, Filipinos also in US that are already residents. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but then after that big deal, I was celebrating, and then luckily until today, I have two offices. So one in Makati and another one in Mandaluyong. Sure.
Mm-hmm. You said what's the second one at? What's the second?
Mandaluyong. So it's my new
Mm-hmm.
office. I tried to do it last year around October. So I was there around October up to February. I went back here on last March. I did a little bit of roadshow, 3 weeks, and then luckily we sold 20 units.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Nice, man. That's good. That's awesome. What about your team wise? Based on you being here, did COVID-19 kind of affect you right now to where you're not traveling? Would you have been in the Philippines around this time with COVID-19?
Yeah, I around March 18, I went back from California going here to Florida, and luckily that was a day before the lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought I will have some challenges, but for now I was just lucky because most of the new buyers that we had are being referred by those experienced investors that we had in California.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope that it continues because the sentiment is different. I gotta admit, the sentiment right now is different in the whole of US with what's
Mm-hmm.
happening right now.
Yeah, awesome. Now, what about so as you when things settle down, how often are you back and forth through the US and the Philippines?
Yeah, every year I spend about 3 to 4 months in the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
So the next time I'm looking at around October.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going back on October, and I'm just gonna visit my dad. So my mom passed away last January 5. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
this time I'm going there to just visit the family.
Yeah, awesome. Now, what's next? What's that vision that you have with what you're doing at the moment?
Right now, actually, my vision with the realty was to help this foreign residents. I mean, our foreign buyers to do the process easily, because in our country it's very hard. The process of buying real estate is very complicated, very old school. Give you an example, right? In the US, they allow the DocuSign, all right, wherein you can sign in the iPad and that's it. You're fixed. But here, the you need to involve the consulate, the notary public, and then they have to mail it back in the country, in the Philippines. So when that happens, um, a chunk of their day goes out of the window because people here are so busy. They're busy working prior to the COVID, prior to the COVID lockdown.
Right.
So it's quite different. It's complicated, and you just have to embrace those kinds of challenges, and then at the same time become a representative for the interests of the investors based abroad. Because what happens is when you promote the property of the developer, um, you don't know if problems will occur. Where are you siding? So me, I chose the side of the buyer because they're more vulnerable. The fact that they trusted you with the property without even looking at it physically makes a lot of sense or value.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you get someone to invest in such a property without seeing it first? Is it like how do you get someone to make that type of decision?
Yeah, what I do is I create PowerPoint presentations. I show them the plans, and then normally I present it with another buyer, wherein the buyer will, who buyer usually has a good experience with us, and then he will tell, oh, this is what happened, Paolo. I just gave him the money for 2 years, and then right now this is the renter. So every time we get a renter,
Mm-hmm.
we document the experience from the landlords, from the tenants, and then we show the links to them. I have this YouTube wherein there's a collection of testimonials and their experience dealing with our company.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's the only way to show them your sincerity
Yeah, yeah, that's powerful
as an
stuff, right?
entrepreneur.
Yeah, as far as actually getting someone, not just showing you pictures or whatever, but showing like actually bringing an actual case study, someone who's had that great experience, someone who's actually getting some really good benefit from it. That's pretty powerful.
Yes,
So
correct.
yeah, yeah, awesome, awesome. So in terms of what when you look back, right, so your success, everything you've done in your life today, what do you say is one skill you've kind of mastered that's gotten you to where you are today?
I would say that would be empathy, because without empathy, I would be the normal agent wherein I'm gonna negotiate in behalf of the developer, but sometimes that doesn't happen. I go out of my way to the point that I bring a legal representative with me for the benefit of the buyers based overseas.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, even though that's a loss, that's a company expense, all right. But then in the long term, it has been proven that it will come back in more dividends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is so powerful, right? I think empathy is one of those things where it's like to succeed in business, like you really need it. I know it's the same thing with my clients as well too, because I had a call. I do group coaching. It's all virtual, but I had a call, and when I kind of I was talking to one of my clients, and all of a sudden I realized the place where they are, what's happening in their life is like, whoa, that's a very interesting thing. But I felt like I had to take the time to connect with them on a personal level
All right.
because the whole thing is like there's business, there's personal. And I realize individuals, they don't have business problems, they have personal problems and reflects in their businesses. And if you could really come from a place of not just interested because someone has given you money, all these different things, but you actually take the time to actually get to know the person and to know that, okay, this person, they're a human being, they have feelings, they have all these different things, and to put aside the business and say, hey, let me get to know you and let me really care about you and not just pretend, but actually show you that I care, do things
Mhm.
that actually goes out of my way to show you that you care, right? I think
That's
that's so
true.
powerful. Yeah, yeah. Awesome. So what about a story, right? I love stories. So based on, are there any stories you could share from your past as far as you could say, okay, here's the story, and then we kind of connect back into how you got to where you are today?
Yeah, I think the most powerful story that I have for you is the one in 2009, because in my head I was like, I just want to do another career because I had a lot of rejections, right? But then this one deal, I said to myself, if this deal didn't fall through, I'm gonna change careers, right? It's like that. So I did it for 3 months. I had an agent, a co-agent at the time. I'm on the listing side, and she's on the buyer side. And then luckily, in the third month, uh, I and I only have $200 in my bank account. So those are the last money that I had. And then when we closed the deal, all right, so there's a lot of papers to be notarized. I need to loan another 5,000 pesos to with my mom. I was like, hey mom, I need this 5,000 because I closed a deal. This will put me back in my career. So after that, I cried like crazy, and at the same time, I carried on. At least I was happy that I experienced these kinds of setbacks, because now even though with these problems, it would make it look so easy because you experience it already. You
Hmm.
experience how feeling down is,
Yeah.
So that's how it is.
That's awesome, and I love it. I love it because I know the same thing as well for me as well. So when I first started my business, as well, it was one of those things where I had the big dreams, had the big goals, and the first couple of years, man, all I did was I got really good at just getting myself in a whole bunch of debts. And my story was the same way. I remember having like $1,000 left in my bank account, being in California, like hundreds of miles away from my family, who told me that trying to move to California to start a business is a bad idea. And it got to a point where I remember sitting in my apartment, like 570 square foot apartment, just like holy crap, it did not work. It didn't really turn out the way I thought. But I believe that one of the things for myself as well too is just trying one last time, right? Just trying one more. And I think that's so powerful because that's typically where I believe that like when you're trying to create success, you always end up in one of those situations so where you have to make a decision. Like, hey, are you
Mhm.
gonna quit or are you gonna just try one more time? And I love hearing stories about people who just said, I tried one more time and it figured itself out, right?
I know, yeah. So yeah, that's it. That's a good story to tell. I always think about it, and at the same time, I gave back to that agent because, tell you frankly, that agent, she has a gambling problem,
Mm-hmm.
and right now her life is not so good. So I carried her on my side anytime that she needs the money, because I never forget. I never forgot about what she did during the time wherein I could have changed careers.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm so grateful for that particular moment, particular challenge.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. So what keeps you inspired? Are you pretty big into books, reading? What do you typically do? How do you stay inspired?
Yeah, I'm into books, usually business books. I love reading books. Right now, I'm reading what do you call it? Oh, I'm reading this one, just a normal Rehumanize. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking of again, as I've said, I want to pivot my business. So I think right now it's more of it's shifting towards these things like Zoom, virtual marketing. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's why I'm so excited. I know that you're on the right track as well, Extus.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Awesome. Love it. Love it. So I know we're running short on time here, but if someone wanted to connect, what's the best way for them to be able to reach out to you?
Great. We have a website, and this one we have our own shirt. I'm gonna give one to you. Just send me your address, Extus.
Awesome. Love it.
Those are my shirt.
Mm-hmm.
So they can connect with abarealty.com.ph,
Mm-hmm.
or we also have a Facebook account. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Love it, guys. And all the links Paolo shared on this interview, I'll go ahead and make sure they're right either above or below this video. So if you're watching this interview as a live or as a pre-recorded, or sorry, as a replay or whatever, you could just click on the links and they'll connect you right to him. Awesome. So with that being said, man, do you have any final thoughts before we end here?
Yeah, right now, I'm gonna say that we have to every time that there's a challenge just like this, we have to be driven. We have to do what we have to do. We just gotta double our efforts, and just have to be patient. And we'll definitely get there as long as we pivot to the shifts in the market, just like this one. So grateful because I'm being invited by someone of authority, someone who has 60,000 fans.
Mm-hmm.
How many fans you have already?
Yeah,
60,000?
I would say, well, more like 30,000, but I'll take the 60,000.
There you go. That's the next. That's the next goal.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
And yeah, and more collaborations. I think helping each other as entrepreneurs is gonna be a positive thing for what we're having
Mm-hmm.
right now.
Awesome, awesome. Love it, man. Well, hey, again, thank you so much for being here today. Really, really appreciate it. You got an awesome story. And yes, we'll be in touch, okay?
Yes, definitely. All right. Take
Awesome. Have
care,
a good,
Extus.
you too.
All right. Bye.